She scored a billionaire hubby, now she's got moves, money, and the kind of uninhibited confidence that comes when you know the entire world is watching. And you don't care one bit. Lauren Sanchez Bezos, the former news anchor turned helicopter pilot turned fiancée turned wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, was caught lighting up the dance floor in Ibiza like it was her own private stage, and judging by the clip making its way across social media, she didn't just dance, she owned the night. It's peak Lauren energy, a cocktail of flirtation, glamour, and jet-set opulence, with every shimmy, hip-hop, and pout channeling the unbothered freedom that comes with marrying one of the richest men alive. If there's one thing Lauren has perfected, it's the art of commanding attention, and she does it here not with words or interviews, but with her body language. Shoulders loose, head swaying rhythmically side to side, lips curled in a knowing smile as if whispering, "This is my world now." Clad in a figure-hugging dress that shimmered beneath the Spanish moonlight, Lauren moved with ease and power, not the awkward, self-conscious wiggle of someone trying too hard to impress, but the confident sway of a woman who knows she already has it all. Her dark hair flowed behind her like silk as the music thumped through the air, her body a silhouette of sleek elegance illuminated by strobe lights and champagne bubbles. Just feet away, Jeff Bezos, the once somewhat reserved tech titan who spent the last few years undergoing what can only be described as the ultimate transformation, was holding it down with a far more understated groove. Classic two-step. Relaxed. Smooth. Like a man who's achieved every conceivable milestone and now just wants to let his wife be the superstar in the spotlight. And isn't that exactly what he's doing? This wasn't just a dance. It was a moment. A declaration. A signal to the world that Lauren, who once reported the news, has now become part of it. Not as a bystander. Not as a commentator. But as a headline. She's the kind of story people don't just scroll past, they click, they watch, they talk. Because there's something magnetic about the rise of someone who took life's opportunities and steered them, quite literally, into the stratosphere. For those who followed their whirlwind romance, this latest scene in Ibiza feels like a natural chapter in their saga. The pair had just finished a glamorous few weeks that felt less like a honeymoon and more like a luxury world tour. From New York skyscrapers to Miami's sun-drenched waters, and then on to their ultra-exclusive wedding celebration in Venice, a ceremony draped in old money glamour and new money sparkle, Jeff and Lauren have been everywhere. Smiling. Posing. Loving. Living. Spain, naturally, was the next stop on their post-nuptial itinerary. But this wasn't a quiet beach retreat or a discreet European hideaway. No, this was Ibiza, the global capital of dance, decadence, and divine energy. And Lauren? She didn't just fit in. She set the vibe. Ibiza is known for its endless parties and unforgettable nights, but even by those standards, her presence turned heads. Witnesses say the dance floor practically shifted when Lauren stepped into its gravitational pull. A private rooftop venue? A beachside villa pulsing with the bass of international DJs? The exact location doesn't even matter. All eyes were on her. No one cared about the guest list or the exclusivity. In that moment, Lauren was the epicenter, an embodiment of luxury, sex appeal, and unapologetic joy. And Jeff? He just smiled. The man who once appeared so stiff behind boardroom tables now seemed utterly at peace in her glow. If Lauren was fire, he was air, not trying to outshine, not trying to control, but lifting her, letting her burn bright. Their chemistry was evident, but even more telling was the quiet ease in how they moved together. Decades apart in age, yes, but somehow in complete sync. The kind of harmony money can't buy, but timing and transformation can shape. It wasn't always like this. Not for Jeff. Not for Lauren. Both of them come from complex stories, winding, flawed, deeply human. Lauren, before all of this, was a respected journalist and pilot, a woman already navigating male-dominated spaces with intelligence and charm. Jeff was the king of e-commerce, the face of relentless ambition, someone whose public life had always been wrapped in numbers, data, efficiency. But then they found each other, and something shifted. Suddenly, Jeff wasn't just making headlines for trillion-dollar valuations or space tourism milestones. He was on yachts. Wearing fitted tees. flashing rare smiles. And at the center of that evolution? Lauren. She didn't just walk into his life, she rewrote his public image. Critics called it a midlife crisis. Fans called it a glow-up. But maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe it's what happens when two people give each other permission to evolve without shame. And while the world speculated, judged, and whispered, they kept building. Building a relationship. A life. A brand. And now, as the music swelled in a Spanish club, that brand was on full display. Pure, unfiltered opulence mixed with genuine connection. The billionaire's wife, yes. But also the woman who brought new life to the billionaire himself. In the modern age of celebrity and wealth, where authenticity is often faked and curated to perfection, there was something oddly refreshing about watching Lauren just be. Be loud. Be sensual. Be herself. This wasn't for a product launch or press appearance. This was joy. Unstaged. Unapologetic. And maybe that's why it hit so hard. Because for all the criticism they've faced, about the optics, the PDA, the extravagance, this moment felt real. And real is rare. Her moves weren't just about rhythm. They were a celebration of survival. Of reinvention. Of knowing who you are and choosing to show up, glitter and all. They told the story of a woman who used to fly helicopters and now flies private across continents, who once delivered headlines and now creates them. A woman who didn't just marry rich but married someone who let her be louder, bolder, freer. In Jeff's portfolio, filled with rockets, retail empires, and unimaginable assets, Lauren might just be the most unpredictable, volatile, and valuable of all. Because unlike stocks or satellites, she brings something else to the table, energy. The kind that turns heads. Shifts narratives. Makes people look twice and ask, who is she? The answer, of course, is layered. She's the dancer in Ibiza. The pilot in the skies. The bride in Venice. The queen of the moment. She's the symbol of what happens when boldness meets opportunity, and then refuses to shrink for anyone. So, as the lights pulsed and the night stretched into early morning, Lauren Sanchez Bezos danced like no one was watching, knowing full well everyone was. She didn't need to post it. The world did it for her. Because when you're living a story this grand, this glamorous, and this unexpected, every move becomes a headline. And as for Jeff, he just kept swaying, calm, confident, a little amused, and very much in love. The richest man in the room. Standing right next to the woman who made him look alive again. Now tell me, who's really winning here? And if you think this dazzling Ibiza display was a one-off moment of celebration, you'd be mistaken. This is a pattern. A rhythm. A statement Lauren makes every time she steps out, not with words, not with interviews, but with presence. It's in the deliberate choice of fashion, in the placement of a hand on Jeff's shoulder at red carpet events, in the subtle wink to the camera as paparazzi lenses try to snatch a candid moment. Every gesture is intentional, but none of it feels forced. That's the magic of her ascension. She's not pretending to belong, she knows she does. To understand the full magnitude of her glow-up, you have to look back at the beginning. Before yachts, before rocket launches, before the tabloid frenzy, Lauren was just another woman in media, a hard-working anchor grinding through 4 a.m. call times, dealing with wardrobe malfunctions, reading off teleprompters while managing motherhood behind the scenes. It was a respectable career, no doubt. But the spotlight she commands now isn't the result of climbing one narrow ladder, it's the reward for jumping between entire industries with precision and grit.